morning. It is I, Pogo Kiddo, with yet another soothing, informational episode of Redstone Lapis Lazuli. Yeah, there I am. Hey, but my Minecraft is... Oh, there it is. There's my Minecraft. Yay. Hey, happy good morning. Happy Sunday morning. Here I am, literally on top of the world. This is the world build limit. I cannot build any higher than I am now. If I try, it says no. So yes, here I am, literally on top of the world. Over there is my base and the train station, Memorial train station. There's my base, my farm, my auto farms, which are all like broken now. And nowhere to go. They have nowhere to go, really. And then there's the train line that I used to take to Drano. Drano was my old combination of village breeder, iron farm, and villager trading post. It was great. But then came the pillage and village update. Let me turn this down. Then came the pillage and village update. And that kind of killed everything. And so I've been trying to recover from that. Okay. Over there is the gold farm, the Florence Larson gold farm, Memorial gold farm, and over there is the Garden of the Gods. And then over there, Sunrise, is Liberty Lighthouse and Grandfather Station. Right down there, that's Siku Station. Way over there is Grandmother Station. And way over there is Democracy Station with the Friendship Lighthouse and the Bifrost. Which, you know what? Now I can make it taller because I didn't realize you can go so high. I can make it to the limit. Make it to the limit. Okay, and then there's like the Southern Highlands, and that's the let's see. Man, that's Northern Highlands. I don't know. Okay, and then there's the plains. There's a Tree of Life there. There's the Sisters. Yeah. The Jungle Beyond. So yeah, and then right there is my new gold farm that my iron farm that I'm trying to make, and there's the sister iron farm, and there's the space in between, the middle between these two. My goal was to build two villages separate like this, as far as I can, and keep them within render distance or simulation distance, so they're both loaded. But the problem is that as soon as I place a bell here, the two villages merge into one mega village, which meant no golems would spawn because there was no suitable place for them to spawn. So I had to abandon that one and focus on this one. So you can see I've got a system set up there, a little rail system to drop off the villagers in their new living pod, and hopefully when I do that, they'll connect to their beds and start spawning golems. Oh yeah, and here's the big ocean. Yay, the big ocean. You can't see to the bottom. Although over there's something there, looks like. I don't know. Okay. So ender pearls are fantastic. Let me show you how great they are. I'm here at the top of the world, but hey, I want to go check out the new iron farm. So I'm going to go throw it like this. Yeah, and eventually I'll be over there. Ta-da! Isn't that great? I was up there at the top of that thing, and now I'm down here. I love these ender pearls. Okay. It's great. So that's the villager breeder. That's the new villager breeder. What happens is they make babies, and the babies fall down this giant chute. into the water stream, where they are shunted down along the water stream away from their village so that they disconnect and they can make a new village. And then they come over here. And then what is over here? Let me show you. Well, hey, no, they come in and then they go down here where they await their final loading position. So they're all ready to go. Everyone's ready. And then they go up this rail. Up this rail. And up even more. To this position. They would come in, the track will go around, and then it'll knock them off. And then I'll probably be standing over here to give them a little nudge into a hole there, where they'll drop into their pod. So that's the plan. Let's see if it works. Go! Yes, okay. Yeah, there he is. And then the minecart's gonna go get another one. I'm gonna nudge this guy in. Hey, buddy. What's happening? Okay, stay there. Oh, he didn't grab one. Alright, well, go back and grab and get another guy. Oh, it dropped an endermite. That's what it dropped in there. Oh, crap. Oh, it picked up an endermite. What? That's gnarly. Oh, no. Oh, no. Can I kill it before? Because well, no, the endermite will eventually despawn. You have to name tag it if you want to keep it. Oh, now you pick up a cat? Alright. No, come on. There's all those villagers. Pick up the villager. Dude, that guy is just chilling there with a bug. He's like, oh my god, there's a endermite in here. Oh, now he's gone. See? He despawned. There we go. Now it's working. Okay, give you a little nudge. That cat, though, right? So not that I hate cats, but that I can't let them. If they hang out, they will disrupt the golem spawning. Okay, so now it's going. Everyone's getting hooked up. Oop, I can't quite get you though. Well, the next guy will knock you in. So we need 10. I think that's 2, 3. That's 3. There we go. 4. Get in there, buddy. 4. So they're gonna be all right. They're nice and safe in here. Sleep in your bed and heal. So the cats are starting to spawn, and they're gonna drop into the lava blade and get taken care of. So this is like a string farm. So what I need to do is also plant a bunch of bamboo and make a bamboo harvester. So I can then use all the string I have with all the bamboo to make scaffolding. And you can burn scaffolding pretty well. It's almost worth it to just make a bunch of scaffolding that burns. and then make a super smelter over here. If you notice, like, there's an area that's covered with sand, red sand, and then the bare area. The reason why it's bare is because I scraped it of all the sand and turned the sand into glass. So yeah, there's a whole desert of red sand. Just the red sand near me is gone because I used it to make glass. Glass is great. Glass is transparent. It's clear. It's great. You can use it for many things. It's recyclable. Glass is amazing. Okay. So what else do we got? I mean, I'll talk about stuff. Let me just let me start talking about stuff. Okay, yeah. Tomorrow we observe Martin Luther King Jr. his birthday. So of course that's something that we should reflect upon, like his work, his legacy, and his struggle. Like, what is the status of his vision, his dream? Right? He had a dream, and that dream resonates with a lot of people, me included. I mean, it's gonna sound totally cheesy, but so yeah, we have these words, all men that were created equal, which we now interpret to mean all people, all humans were created equal. But what is the status of those words in relation to the real world? Like, do we have a world that reflects those great words? And for a lot of people, the answer is no. It's like you talk big, but there's nothing behind it. So, yeah, we have to be continually assess if what we're doing and what we're saying affirms these values that we want to express in the world. So yes, we say that all people are created equal, that we believe in democracy, that the will of the people should be reflected in the form of governance, and that all power is derived from the people, from the consent of the governed. It doesn't come from the government, it doesn't come from one person, it comes from the people. And the people have created a system whereby their will is reflected in the government. Our founding fathers have created the system, and it was their intent to create a system based on justice and liberty, the mutual respect of justice and liberty. So you combine all these together and you go, all right, we want to make a, I think it's done. No more. Yeah. No more coming up. It's not coming up anymore, so that means there's no more guys to get. Okay, so I can close this up. Okay, so they're in there, but they're angry because they're being disconnected from their beds. They can't reach their beds. They get connected, and then they realize they can't reach it, and then they get angry, and they disconnect, and that interferes with the golem spawning mechanics. See, it can't reach it unless there's something inside. An empty cart has less momentum than a full cart. Do we have any buckets in here? Yeah. Oh, lava. Oh, there we go. Bucket. Perfect. There's no water in here though, man. You gotta fix that. Okay. See, he's connected and then gets disconnected. So my solution to this is to create water, a water flow that'll keep them bouncing. And as long as they're bouncing, they can't disconnect from their bed. But I can't put the water right in them because I can't get in there. Like there's just too much stuff. So I gotta put it there and then close this up. Now this will keep them bouncing. Okay. Alright. And as long as they're bouncing because of the water, they won't disconnect from their beds. So ideally, all this combined ought to make golem spawn. There's no village here anymore. Oh yeah, look, some already spawned. I didn't even see it. Nice! So it's working. A very, very inefficient farm. I don't need any of this stuff here. And that's the sad thing. You can't stack these because you can't load 2 in 1. I just tried. Maybe you can do it with beds, but then the beds are really inefficient because then the center of the village changes. And so like you don't get the full spawning radius. So I think this is like the best compromise. I don't want to mess with villagers in separate pods. That's really hard. I don't want the villagers disconnecting from beds and moving the center because that's no good because that makes it less efficient. Yeah, I think this is it. I don't see any. I mean, what? Could you make another level? Can I make another level? A spawning level, maybe? I should look it up and do some research. If I can add a second layer. Well, no, it has to be within. I don't know how many within. I don't know how many up. I think it's only 2 up from the bell. It might be 3. But it needs to be above the bell because otherwise there's no room for it to spawn here. I don't know what I'm talking about. All I'm going to do now is AFK. Well, here, we can go look at the abandoned AFK spot. So I was going to use this building to stand in between both farms. But, of course, now this is useless because... Why is that even there? Because I don't need it there anymore. I mean, like, I can't make this one work. It doesn't work. If I put a bell here, it will merge with that other place. I wonder if I can make one with just beds. That's a thought. If I just put a bunch of beds and no bell, will it merge with that one? I don't know. I gotta do research. I should copy this world, go into it, make it creative, and see if that works. Hey, there we go. Hey, good idea. That's a great idea. And if it works, then come back and do it for real in this one. Hey, that's a great idea. That'll save me a lot of heartache. Because let me tell you, it took a lot of effort to get to this point. Let's look. Oh yeah, there's a golem. A golem spawned. All right, golem, nice. He's gonna chill out there. He's like, what's up, buddy? Yo, what's up? They went down. All right, and then here. There he is. Cooking away. Cook. It's like, I'm on fire. And then there it is. And then we have 9, 10. Oh, yes. All right, now it's working. And then a ton of string. See? So since I'm going to be AFKing here, what I need to do is I should make a building around this place. And then I want to make what's it called? A bamboo farm. And I want to make it harvested by a daylight sensor, so that it goes twice a day, like sunrise and sunset. That way, the bamboo has all day and all night to grow. I'll light it up so it has light. Then all that bamboo will be harvested, and I'll just collect the string, because I get tons of string, and combine it with the bamboo to make scaffolding, because this stuff is great and you waste it all the time. But it also is good for fuel. You can use it to smelt other things. So I'll make a bunch of scaffolding for use and for burning. Then I'll make a super smelter. Oh man, look at this is all working out. But to make this thing, right, to get to this point where I can AFK and get iron and all this other stuff, I had to make this village breeder. But first I made it down here, and then it was too close. So I had to make it way up there, and even there I think it's too close, because I have to break the bed for them to be disconnected. So I don't know what's going on. But I guess they're connected to this one now. So it's all good. Oh man. Now I have to go. I can't bring any villagers anywhere near this thing, else they get connected to this village. So what I gotta do is go build another villager training outpost, probably that way, away from this thing. I might be able to use Drano again. There's a bunch of people there right now. They're just chilling there, but they don't do anything. Because I can try to make another iron farm. That's pretty far away. Oh, I'll think about it. I can maybe make another iron farm. Because I can't combine village breeder with a village. Can't do it. Alright, well hey. Let me go chill out. And then we can talk. I need a good spot to chill, right here. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot. Il y a beaucoup. Warm coffee. I should make more coffee. Because this is going to be a show, let me tell you. It took a lot of work to get to this point. It took a lot of work. So I don't know how good my show is going to be. So yeah. Our country, the United States. Words mean something. They have meaning. They're important. They're very important. So, if you're a person that ascribes no value to the meaning of a word, then it's hard to be an American. Because Americans put a lot of value on words. A lot of value on words. when we have this Constitution that we wrote that's based on words, right? And these words have meaning. And if you're a person that doesn't says that, oh yeah, words don't really have meaning, you can use them for whatever. Well, that makes it hard to be an American. So when Americans say that all humans are created equal and they have equal rights, like, we mean it. We have to mean it and believe it. We have to, right? Otherwise, I mean, are you really American at that? If you don't, because remember, your whole deal is that words and truth have meaning, that there's a truth. So yes, Americans will say, like, the reason why we fought and the reason why we fight and the reason why we are the way we are is because we value truth and justice and liberty. And when we say things, we mean them. So when we say that all humans are created equal, we mean all humans are created equal, and they have the right to express their humanness, as long as they don't infringe upon the liberty of other people unduly. But yeah, see, it starts when you start getting fine grained. That's when that's where it's interesting. But if we're not going too close, we're gonna stay stay further back a bit, because we don't need to go close. We need to see the whole thing. So you have these ideas. You believe in words. You believe in these concepts. And yet, your history, the history of your collective, the nation, has incongruencies with this concept. The nation is founded on slavery and genocide. You enslaved a whole bunch of people and used their labor and took the wealth from their labor, and treated them very badly. You robbed them of their human rights. And then the land on which you did this, you took through conquest and genocide. Now, the genocide, some of the genocide was unintentional, but some of it was intentional. So, but I mean, it had the same effect of being genocide. Like, because you just took the land, just took it, and then transformed its use. You enclosed it. It used to be open and free for all the animals and humans to use it. But then you enclosed it in private property, and we got that from our buddy England. Yeah. So the words that you have, that you give to your children, us, is incongruent with the past that you give to your children, us. So. And it's kind of cheesy. That's what I was getting at. But I'm going back to the 90s, 80s, 90s, to George Michael. All we have to do now is take these lies and make them true somehow. That's our goal. That's our goal. We want to take these lies and make them true. Because is it true that all men are created equal if you can just arbitrarily take their life and property based on the color of their skin, or based on their gender, or based on, like, their sexual orientation, or which god they pray to? Like, because if you want to be cynical, yeah, it's a bunch of lies. It's a bunch of pretty words that you used in order to justify the taking of this property and wealth. And it's not like it's a past thing that's gone. Like, it's ongoing. It's just in a different form that you can't quite see as clearly because you're too close. And yeah, I don't know. To me, it's like it seems very clear. But I had the benefit. I have the benefit of education. I left the country. I've been out of the country for some years, so I can see what the world is like outside of the United States. I can see that. I get a different perspective. I am like incredibly privileged to be able to do that, to have that. So yeah, for me, it's like, oh yeah, of course. But for a lot of people, man, you never leave your hometown. Like you, like they don't, the society doesn't give you much light to work with. They don't illuminate very much. When I was capping on that little kid, I mean, like that, because it's kind of like that. I feel bad about it now. Like that clip of him going like, "Oh yeah, I don't know why I'm gonna vote for." Dude's like a junior in high school. So come on, Rob, don't be a dork. Don't be a jerk. Sorry, kid. But yeah, your elders are doing you bad, doing you wrong. They're not giving you the light of reason. If you don't have that's the gift that we if you go by the Greeks, the light of reason is the fire that Prometheus took from the gods and gave to the humans because he loved the humans so much and he didn't want to see them suffer. So he defied the plans of the gods to give humans fire. And you can look at fire as literal fire, or you can look at fire as reason, like Plato said. It's the light of reason. Reason is I mean, like, yeah, you can look at the world in terms of mythology, right? And things like that. You tell a story if you don't know what's going on. And sometimes there's a kernel of truth to it, but a lot of times it's just like, I don't know, man. I'm just making up. If the world is like this, then it's got to be like this. Suppose you're in caveman times, right? And like you hear thunder. Why does it thunder, Papa? Well, like in the world there are a bunch of gods, and all these gods they fight, and then since there's a bunch of gods, they must fight, and since they fight, they must make noise. So that must be thunder. Like it's I mean, it's kind of reason, but not really. I mean, because reason can be wrong. That's what I'm saying. You can make, but some reason is better than no reason, because when you have some reason, then you can have like discussion. But when you just say, "Oh, it's this way just because," then there's nowhere to go. Yeah, you need the light of reason, and humans who follow Donald Trump are foregoing the light of reason. They just like give it away. They just don't even use it anymore. But reason is what allows us to overcome the natural tendencies for humans to become biased. I mean, that's what humans do. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're white or black or Native American or or anything, Asian or whatever. Humans have a tendency to be biased. So, in order to overcome this tendency to be biased, humans, I'm looking here and I'm seeing that I should put signs there so water doesn't flow down and break my lava, because I've replaced the lava in there so many times because of a water flow change. Oh, I hate it. Everything's working so good. I don't want anything to go wrong though. But more signs shouldn't hurt anything. Anyways, it's just a protection from what's it called? Protection from if there's a water problem. Okay, so reason is what allows us to overcome the inherent weaknesses of human perception and the human mind. The human mind is not perfect. It's a great thing. It's pretty awesome. but it's not perfect. It can be tricked. It can be fooled and manipulated easily. So, and even if you're trained to resist it, there are still ways it can get you. The human mind is not perfect. So it is with the light of reason that we try to overcome these limitations. How do you overcome prejudice and racism? One way is through the light of reason, because with reason you can understand that the differences are literally only skin deep between humans. All humans are humans. They're all, I mean, on a fundamental level, we're all the same. And since we're all the same, we all have the same human rights. So any right that you give yourself, you'd have to automatically give to someone else, to another human. I have no torches. I can come back with torches. So, looking at Dr. King, Martin Luther King Jr. Oh no. If we want to realize his vision of his dream, if we want to make a world that doesn't matter about the color of your skin, but the content of your character. If we want this world to be here, we're gonna need to use our reason in order to overcome the inherent biases, the biases that that all humans have, that we're always trying to clean out. We're always working to. I mean, it's a continual process. It's not like one day you're like, oh yeah, I'm not racist anymore. Yay, I'm done. No, you have to always work at it. It's always a thing you're working on. You're always working to keep clear the lenses of perception from biases. And you have to realize too that some of these biases are there, and you have to acknowledge them in order to be able to account for them. You can't be thinking that your perception is perfect. No one's perception is perfect. No one sees the big picture or the whole picture. Nobody can see the whole picture. The picture's so big, only God can see the whole picture. I don't know this. I don't know the score of the music. I don't know where it's going. I'm just going along with the music and trying to play my part the best I can. Look at this mess. Yeah, waste. We got to deal with our waste. Is it kind of laggy, or is it just me? Let me see. Settings. Let me lower down I cranked it up to 64. That might be too much. Let's go 48. Oh yeah, much better. Okay. Picking up after myself. Yes! Yes! That is excellent. I love all these golems spawning. Okay. So, what we're going on right now is a pretty big attack on on Americans. All Americans. Not just all Americans are under attack right now. Because because get out of here, buddy. Oh, it doesn't knock him back. Come on! Oh, here, I don't want to. What if I go to this other side? Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right. All Americans are under attack right now. Because the people who are in power, Donald Trump and cronies, they don't believe that words have meaning. Oh yeah, see, you got to kill them right away, else another one won't spawn. Get him, knock him in, cat, knock him in, knock him in. Yes. All right, good job, cat. Yeah. If we believe that words have meaning, but the people in power, they don't believe words have meaning. They think words just are nothing. That you use words only to gain power. And that's called fascism. When words don't have any meaning and all you care about is power, truth doesn't matter. It's only about power. You only go with what has power. And that's opposite of what America's about. Because essentially what you wanted, the person with the most power is king. We like the United States was founded to get away from kings. We don't want a king. We want to get away from that. That's why we built that's why our founding fathers built our nation on the concept of reason. It doesn't need a god. It works on reason. Reasonable humans can figure this out so that across all oh man, what am I saying? Like religions or languages or whatever. It doesn't matter what your culture is. If you can reason, you can work this out. Reason is the common ground. It's not religion. It's not a culture. It's reason. That's why I keep coming back to reason. Reason is the light by which we all see. Well, one of the lights by which we all see. Lighthouse. Liberty Lighthouse. So here, let me show you. Man, that's great. I like that. What a nice image. Let me do this. Okay. So let's talk about, I'm going to start throwing up images here. Okay. In front view. Where's, oh dude, it's not working. I don't see it. That's not it either. Alright, so what if I go like this? Do I have two open? Is that the problem? In front view. Come on, dude. High view. Yes. There we go. This guy. Okay. This guy up there his name is Alan Dershowitz. He's a lawyer. He's one of Trump's lawyers. That is to say, Trump hired him to defend him in the impeachment trial. But this guy is a little bit questionable. In the newspaper in 1974. He talks about Alan Dershowitz, this guy, talks about prominent lawyer discusses the concept of prejudice in a trial. Oh, so he talks about this prejudice in the trial. What does he talk about? He says, man, I can't even read that. Ooh. Hold on. There we go. I'm not happy seeing Richard Nixon's gang being tried by blacks and liberals in the District of Columbia, said Dershowitz. Oh, this guy doesn't like blacks and liberals. Oh, okay, but he's defending Donald Trump. Okay, I can see that. That's one of Trump's lawyers. Another one of Trump's lawyers is, let's see. Hold on, I'll get there. Hold on. Sorry. This one here, Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi is the other lawyer. That's Pam Bondi hanging out with what's his name? Parnas. So Pam Bondi, with picture with Parnas, is also defending Donald Trump. All right, there's Parnas right there with Florida Governor Rick DeSantis. What the hell? Rick DeSantis. Rick DeSantis is the governor of Florida. Like, he barely won over Andrew Gilliam, and through using voter suppression tactics. He's a Confederate. The dude's a Confederate. There's Parnas hanging out with that guy, and this guy passed a law, signed a law. So, okay, you know how the United States has forbidden the poll tax? You know, a tax to keep poor people from voting? Well, Florida just passed an initiative by the people to give back the right to vote back to felons, ex-felons. Well, the state of Florida didn't like that. The white people, the Confederate government of Florida didn't like that idea. So they passed a law to override the will of the voter, saying that you can't vote until you pay back all the money it took to put you in prison. These guys are poor, dude. They just got out of prison. And now the Florida government says you can't vote until you pay us back for us putting you in prison. So in other words, they just took away the right to vote from these people again. So stupid. But that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about the lawyers. Oh, and Ken Starr. That's the other lawyer for Donald Trump. So Ken Starr, his deal is he was the lawyer that impeached Bill Clinton. So you have to understand what a farce that was, the impeachment of Bill Clinton. When the Republicans first started to investigate Clinton, the reason for their investigation was because of a real estate deal in the 1970s. It's like 15 years earlier. There was a real estate deal in the 1970s called Whitewater. And in that real estate deal, the Clintons lost money. But that was the reason why the Republicans started an investigation and appointed Kenneth Starr, this guy, to go look for, to go investigate this deal. After 2 years of investigations, the Whitewater deal was like a big nothing burger. There was nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there. But Kenneth Starr expanded his investigation to include literally everything. Literally everything. He was the exact opposite of Robert Mueller. I mean, everyone talks to Robert Mueller and says all this stuff about Robert Mueller. But you have to understand, Robert Mueller was really constrained a lot. Number one, by the law, because the law that appointed Ken Starr was gone by the time Robert Mueller came up. They got rid of it after Kenneth Starr. Yeah. So Robert Mueller was really constrained by the law, and then Rod Rosenstein, I think his name is, the deputy AG, further constrained Robert Mueller by making his wording very, very, very tight. So everyone complains that Robert Mueller's report didn't find exactly what they wanted, but that's because he was constrained by everything. So he couldn't say outright what was going down. The dude knows, Robert Mueller knows that it's an international crime spree, that a transnational crime syndicate has taken over the White House. He knows that. He proved it. It's beyond a doubt in his mind. But because of the constraints of the wording, he couldn't look into anything. He had to pass it along to someone else. Ken Starr, on the other hand, he was given gigantic range. He could go investigate whatever he wanted. He could spend as much money as he wanted. It didn't matter. So even though the reason why he was appointed was to look at Whitewater, a real estate deal from 20 years ago, instead it morphed into a sexual harassment suit with Monica Lewinsky. And I think Clinton was under oath when he was asked if he had sex with Monica Lewinsky, and he said, no, I did not. If you define sex as penetration into the vagina with a penis, then no, I did not have sex with Monica Lewinsky. And it was true. Super lawyer talk, and like that's got a whole host of problems, right? That's an example of patriarchy, of a man using his position and power to get sexual favors from a woman who is in a subordinate. That's, of course, that's wrong. Of course. But that's a long way from a real estate deal from the 1970s in which you lost money. So it was clear that Ken Starr went on a huge fishing expedition just to find anything he could, and the Republicans took whatever Ken Starr could find and used that for impeachment, because all they really wanted to do was impeach Clinton. They just wanted to get rid of him. So so that happened. He now 20 years later, instead of being the prosecutor, Ken Starr is now the defense attorney for Donald Trump. Okay, so let me go back here. Let's go over the here. So this is Nazi by the name of Christine Flowers. She's a Nazi. So she said Hitler was never convicted in a court of law and is therefore considered not guilty. Prove me wrong. Well, no, she's not wrong, right? That's how we have to know that justice and law are two different things. What is just is not always illegal. And what is just is not always congruent with what is lawful. They're two different ideas. So even though we all know Hitler is super evil and like super bad and what he did was awful, he was never convicted in a court of law. Nothing he did was against the law in Nazi Germany. It was all legal. So do not conflate legal with good. They're not the same. Just like slavery in the United States. All of slavery was legal until the Emancipation Proclamation. There was nothing illegal with murdering your own. You couldn't murder a slave because slaves were not even considered human. Like those people weren't even considered human. You could murder a human and get away with it because they weren't. You didn't look at them. You did not legally define them as human. But everyone knows that's a human. You just murdered a human. Like you're killing a human. You're depriving a human of their human rights. That's wrong. That's it doesn't matter what the law says. That's wrong. It's wrong. So yeah, Christine Flowers is right. Like just because it's legal doesn't mean it's right. So she's a Nazi. I think she meant to use that term in the opposite direction, but I don't care. Screw her. She's lame. She shouldn't be. She didn't have a platform. Like, yeah, she has a platform. I think she has a job as a journalist. But look, she's spreading lies. Well, not in this instance. It just didn't mean what she thought it meant. Okay, so yeah, Christine Flowers, this chick right here, it didn't mean what she thought it meant. No, so there's okay now. This guy here is named Eric Garland, and I got all this stuff from Twitter. This guy is pretty smart. I like this guy. He's smart, and I'm gonna take a bunch of his the pictures that he took, the snippets, to do this. So the trial is going on right now. Like, you can go watch them if you want, but come on. Here's the how much gold did we get so far? I don't know, 26. I mean, that's almost nothing. That's like nothing, but I mean, if I'm gonna be at work for 8 hours a day, it's better than, yeah. It's super slow, man. Look at that, only 26. Makes me sad. Look at all these cats. I mean, I could catch the cats, I guess. Let's see. So here's what the Democrats are saying. Here's their argument. Here's what the Democrats are saying. All right. The Senate should convict President Trump of abuse of power. President Trump abused the power of the presidency by pressuring a foreign government to interfere in an American election on his behalf. He solicited this foreign interference to advance his re-election prospects at the expense of America's national security and the security of Ukraine, a vulnerable American ally at war with Russia, an American adversary. His effort to gain a personal political benefit by encouraging a foreign government to undermine America's democratic process strikes at the core of misconduct that the framers designed impeachment to protect against. President Trump's abuse of power requires his conviction and removal from office. An officer abuses his power if he exercises his official power to obtain an improper personal benefit while ignoring or undermining the national interests. An abuse that involves an effort to solicit foreign intervention in an American election is uniquely dangerous. That's what, I mean, right? That's the way it is. That's the way it is. Donald Trump is the highest officer in the United States. He abused his power by intercepting aid from Congress to Ukraine. He stopped it and said, "You're not going to get this aid unless you do me a favor. I need you to start an investigation against Joe Biden. I need you to go on TV and announce this really loud so everyone hears you. And when you do that, then I'll let this aid through. When you do this, then I'll give you a visitation by the United States and strengthen your position. Do me a favor before, do Donald Trump a favor before I'll let the United States help you." So here, that's what he did. That's what's going down. There was a picture I wanted to show you. Where'd it go? Got to go up one, maybe. Hold on. I'm sorry. This cartoon from Will McPhail explains it really, really well. So there's a guy walking by, and this bird says, "Hey, nice jacket." And the guy with the chips, it says, "Oh yeah, thank you." And then the bird says, "Be ashamed if something were to happen to that jacket." And so he stops. It's like, "Oh, what do you mean? I'm being threatened." And then the bird says, "Leave the chips." So, because now, here, let's break this down for people who don't get it. What's happening is the bird is extorting the dude with the nice jacket. He's like, if you don't leave the chips, I'm gonna poop on your nice jacket, and you're gonna have a poopy jacket. Your jacket will be covered with bird poop. So if you don't want your jacket to be covered in bird poop, Leave the chips. Leave me the food. Leave me the personal benefit. That's what's going down with Donald Trump doing to Ukraine. That's the easiest way to understand what's happening. Right? Nowhere in that cartoon does the bird literally say, I want in exchange for me not pooping on your jacket, you are going to give me the chips. I want nowhere in that cartoon does the bird say quid pro quo. Nowhere does the bird say, "Oh yeah, I want quid pro quo, buddy. If you don't give me those chips, I'm going to poop on your jacket." He never says that. He never says it. It's all implied. It's all in the context. Uh, it's obviously a threat. Everyone knows this. So we even make this guy, even Will McPhail, even made a cartoon about it. It's obvious. Everyone knows what's going on. That's what happened with Ukraine. Oop. Okay, second, President Trump sought to pressure President Zelensky publicly to announce an investigation into a conspiracy theory that Ukraine had colluded with the Democratic National Committee to interfere in the 2016 election. In order to help Clinton versus Trump. This theory was not only pure fiction, but malign Russian propaganda. In the words of one President Donald Trump's own National Security Council officials, President Trump's theory of Ukrainian election interference is a fictional narrative. It's a big lie. It's a Russian lie that Ukraine interfered in the election to help Clinton. It's the exact opposite. Russia interfered in the elections to help Trump. That is the truth. All right. In furtherance of the corrupt scheme, President Trump exercised his official power to remove a perceived obstacle to Ukraine's pursuit of the two sham investigations. On April 24th, 2019, one day after the media reported that former Vice President Biden would formally enter into the 2020 U.S. presidential race, the State Department executed President Trump's order to recall the U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, a well-regarded career diplomat and anti-corruption crusader. President Trump needed her out of the way because she was going to make the investigations difficult for everybody. President Trump then proceeded to exercise his official power to pressure Ukraine into announcing his desired investigations by withholding valuable support that Ukraine desperately needed and that he could leverage only by virtue of his office. $391 million in security assistance and a White House meeting. So what that says is so remember the woman, U.S. ambassador, Marie Yovanovitch. Marie Yovanovitch is a great patriot. She's a great ambassador. She's an expert in her field. She really knows how to work diplomacy. That's why she worked there for a long time under many presidents. She's really good. And she's not corrupt. So she is trying to help the United States and, by extension, all the other democracies in the world by fighting corruption, by fighting the forces that seek to undermine democracy. And Donald Trump is trying to corrupt the world. He doesn't like the rule of law. He wants to corrupt Ukraine and turn Ukraine over to Russia. So he has this idea to turn Ukraine into a Russian puppet. But Marie Yovanovitch is in the way. She won't play ball. She won't make Ukraine follow up these fake investigations for Donald Trump. She won't do that. So Donald Trump needed her get her out of the way because she wouldn't help with his conspiracy. Donald Trump needed her out of the way. Now remember, Lev Parnas gave us gave us video. Not video. What's it? What did I do with it? Lev Parnas gave us communications about this. Oh man, where did it go? Where did I put it? No, Parnas, there it is. Lev Parnas talks about this. So he was talking to. So here's his deal. Here, I'm gonna go with the full screen. All right, so yeah, it's all in Cyrillic. I can't read it. Right, it's all Russian, Cyrillic, Ukrainian, whatever. I can't read that stuff. But the translation's over here. He says, "My Zaleski matter is progressing well. There's testimony about transfers to B." And then the next one says, "And here you can't even get rid of one female fool." And then Parnas says, "She's not a simple fool. Trust me. But she's not getting away." Ooh, sounds ominous. Sounds ominous. And then here's the next one from Robert Hyde, right? Robert Hyde is a congressional candidate. He's a bad guy. So he's saying, update, she will not be moved. So they're trying to get rid of her. They're trying to get her out. But now they have threats against her. The U.S. State Department is aware that people are after the ambassador. So they're upgrading her security, right? And now they're saying she will not be moved. Special security unit. She will not be moved. Special security unit upgraded. Force on compound. Wow! Those three things. Update. She will not be moved. So they thought they were going to move her out and get her out of there. But the update was that she will not be moved. Instead, special security unit was upgraded. Now there's force on the compound. So you can't just walk in there and kill her. There's people with guns in there now. They're watching her. They're protecting her. People are already aware of the situation. Ooh, what people are already aware? My contacts are asking what is the next step, because they cannot keep going to check. People will start to ask questions. So they're looking for an opening to kill her. But now she has guards. and now the assassins can't just keep going to look to see if it's ready a good time to see it, because they'll notice that he keeps walking by to kill her. And then, so the next guy says, Hyde says, if you want her out, they need to make contact with security forces. So they're threatening, they're working out how they're going to murder this U.S. ambassador. And then this is Hyde. All right, so this is Hyde and Parnas conspiring. They want to get rid of Jovanovic. They're saying that address I sent you checks out. It's next to the embassy. So they're planning their hit, right? So they have a building next to the embassy where they can stage their attack. They are willing to help if you pay a price. So they've contacted assassins, and now they're negotiating. They have the assassins, they have the staging room. Now they're negotiating the price you want to pay. Ooh, oh shit. Now they're negotiating the price. Now they're negotiating the price. Guess you can do anything in the Ukraine with money. So he just hired an assassin to murder a U.S. ambassador in Ukraine for lots of money. And that's when he says, oh, wait a minute, she will not be moved. She will not be moved. Special security unit has been upgraded. There's force on the compound now. People are already aware that we have plans to kill her. My contacts are asking, what is the next step? What do you want this assassin to do? Because this assassin can't keep going by to check if it's a good time to kill her. And because the security forces will start asking questions. Like, my God, this is Donald Trump doing this stuff. This is the people Donald Trump has been working with. All right. So let's go back to Donald Trump here. So let's review what was said here. President Trump sought to pressure President Zelensky publicly to announce an investigation into a conspiracy theory that Ukraine had colluded with Democratic National Committee to interfere in the 2016 presidential elections in order to help the campaign of Hillary Clinton against then candidate Donald Trump. Okay, so wait. It's the next one I wanted to get to. So what I want to talk about is, let's see. The State Department executed President Trump's order to recall the U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, a well-regarded career diplomat and anti-corruption crusader. That's Marie Yovanovitch. Since they couldn't murder Marie Yovanovitch, President Trump fired her to get her out. Out of the blue, out of nowhere. President Trump fired her for no reason. Since they couldn't murder her, they had to fire her. But they needed her out. Oh my God, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Every relevant executive branch agency supported the assistance, which also had, so we're trying to give Ukraine this money to defend against Russia. Every relevant executive branch agency supported the assistance, which also had broad bipartisan support in Congress. President Trump, however, personally ordered OMB to withhold the assistance after the bulk of it had been appropriated by Congress and all of the congressionally mandated conditions on assistance, including anti-corruption reforms, had been met. The Government Accountability Office has determined that President's hold was illegal and violated the Impoundment and Control Act, which limits the president's authority to withhold funds that Congress has appropriated. So he broke that law, the Impoundment and Control Act. There's a law he broke. All right. So the next part. President Trump exercised official power to benefit himself personally. Overwhelming evidence demonstrates that the announcement investigations on which President Trump conditioned the official acts had no legitimate policy rationale, and instead were corruptly intended to assist his 2020 election. There was no reason to hold back the funds. The only reason to hold back the funds was to pressure Zelensky into pushing Trump's conspiracy. That's the only reason. Finally, there's no credible alternative explanation for President Trump's conduct. I mean, if that's not the reason, Trump, why did you do it? Come on, tell us. Why did you do it? We are governed by reason. So I am open. Maybe there's a reason why you did it. Maybe because it looks real bad this way. So why don't you tell us the reason why you did it? Why don't you clarify for us? If because this is what it looks like. If it's not that way, let us know. It's not credible that President Trump sought announcements of the investigations because he was concerned with corruption in Ukraine, or because he was concerned with the burden sharing of our European allies. Before news of former Vice President Biden's candidacy broke, President Trump showed no interest in corruption in Ukraine. He didn't even care. And in prior years, he approved military assistance to Ukraine without controversy. It was only after Biden that suddenly Trump was like, oh, corruption in Ukraine. So, to recap, President Trump has demonstrated his continued willingness to corrupt free and fair elections, betray our national security, and subvert the constitutional separation of powers, all for personal gain. President Trump's ongoing pattern of misconduct demonstrates that he is an immediate threat to the nation and the rule of law. It is imperative that the Senate convict and remove him from office now and permanently bar him from holding federal office. Not only that, but President Trump's repeated abuse of power presents an ongoing threat to our elections. President Trump's solicitation of Ukrainian interference in the 2020 election is not an isolated incident. It is part of his ongoing and deeply troubling course of misconduct that, as the first article of the impeachment states, is consistent with President Trump's previous invitations of foreign interference in U.S. elections. It's not the first time he asked for help. He's going to keep asking for help. He's not going to stop. These previous efforts included inviting Russian interference in the 2016 elections. As Special Counsel Mueller concluded, the Russian government interfered in the presidential election in a sweeping and systemic fashion. Throughout the 2016 election cycle, Trump campaign maintained significant contacts with agents of the Russian government who offered damaging information concerning then-candidate Trump's political opponent, and Mr. Trump repeatedly praised and even publicly requested the release of politically charged Russian-hacked emails that Russia stole. The Trump campaign welcomed Russia's interference because it expected it would benefit electorally from the information stolen and released through Russian efforts. President Trump's recent actions confirms that public censure is insufficient to deter him from continuing to facilitate foreign interference in U.S. elections. In June 2019, President Trump declared that he sees nothing wrong with listening to a foreign power that offers information detrimental to a political adversary. In the president's words, "I think I'd take it." Asked whether such information should be reported to law enforcement, President Trump reported, "Give me a break. Life doesn't work that way." Man, he's a gangster. Look at this gangster. President Trump's unrepentant embrace of foreign election interference illustrates that the threat posed by his continued occupancy of the office of the president. It also refutes that the assertion that the consequences of his misconduct should be decided by the voters in 2020 election, because the aim of President Trump's Ukraine scheme was to corrupt the integrity of the 2020 elections by enlisting a foreign power to give him an unfair advantage. In short, to cheat. That threat persists today. So this goes over and he's attacking our election by asking for foreign governments to interfere in our election. He's taking away our right to vote and giving it to these foreign powers and saying, let these foreign powers decide the election for you. You guys don't need to concern yourselves. Like the government, Donald Trump is saying the government doesn't actually reflect the will of the voters. Your vote and your voice doesn't actually matter. It's only us elite that'll take care of everything. That's what Donald Trump is doing. He's attacking our democracy, our Constitution. The Senate should convict and remove President Trump to avoid serious and long-term damage to our democratic values and our nation's security. If the Senate permits President Trump to remain in office, he and future leaders would be emboldened to welcome and even enlist foreign interference in elections for years to come. When the American people's faith in their electoral process is shaken and its results called into question, the essence of democratic self-governance is called into doubt. Failure to remove President Trump would signal that a president's personal interests may take precedence over those of the nation, alarming our allies and emboldening our adversaries. Our leadership depends on the power of our example and the consistency of our purpose. But because of President Trump's actions, both have now been open to question, because before no one ever questioned it. President Trump has betrayed the American people and the ideals on which this nation was founded. Unless he is removed from office, he will continue to endanger our national security, jeopardize the integrity of our elections, and undermine our core constitutional principles. That's the argument that the Democrats are making why we should remove. So before we get, okay, so that's what they're saying. That's what the Democrats are saying. Why the Senate must impeach Donald Trump. 30. So slow. That's why they're saying that why we should. So, okay. Why? So you broke a law, you break these laws, you inserted yourself in between the United States in order to personally benefit. You blocked all the information that we tried to get, so you lied about everything, and you continue to ask for foreign interference into the election. So you're abusing your power to overthrow democracy. That's what say you? What do you have to say to that? Okay, so the defense, what Donald Trump says is the defense of all this stuff. Like, what is your reason for that? What is your reasoning? So the thing here's the dream team, right? This is now we're gonna get to his lawyers. All right. Now we got there's Dershowitz, there's Ken Starr, and there's Pam Bondi. Now they're gonna respond back. Now they're gonna defend. I like that. That's a nice thing there. I gotta keep that open. That lets me jump through easy. Nice. Okay. So what say you? What say you guys? They say the articles of impeachment are constitutionally invalid on their face. Oh, they're saying, oh yeah, these are not constitutional. They fail to allege any crime or violation of law whatsoever. What? We just talked about this whole thing about how you violated law and abused power. Didn't you just read it? Didn't you hear anything? Didn't you hear anything? All right, then they say, let alone high crimes and misdemeanors, as required by the Constitution. They are the result of a lawless process that violated basic due process and fundamental fairness. Nothing in these articles could permit even beginning to consider removing a duly elected president or warrant nullifying an election and subverting the will of the American people. Well, so what they're saying is, so the argument they're saying, impeachment is against the Constitution. These articles in the Constitution, they don't mean anything. Even though you said President Trump broke all these laws and abused his power, we say that what you said doesn't matter. We don't even hear it. We don't hear nothing. I don't hear anything. You can't even look at it. There's not even a reason to look. What you're doing is taking away the minority. Remember, the minority voted to put President Trump in power. So you're overpowering the majority with the will of the minority. Or like, no, you're trying to take away. No, sorry. So the majority of people want to get rid of President Trump. So you're trying to overthrow the will of the minority in order to put the will of the majority, and that's just wrong. It's what they're saying. All right. What else are they saying? So they're saying that these impeachment, this is a front. I can't believe you're saying it. There's just these things are bad. Let's see. You have to say no. The House process violated every precedent, which it didn't. It followed the Clinton one, and every principle of fairness in governing. Yeah, no, it didn't. So there's a bunch of lies. And even so, all that House Democrats have succeeded in proving is that the president did absolutely nothing wrong. Oh, so it was what they're saying is that it's correct for the government, for President Trump to put him in between. It's correct for President Trump to ask for foreign interference. There's nothing wrong with asking. That's what they're saying. The words on the Constitution that he swore to uphold don't mean anything. The oath that he took doesn't mean anything. There's nothing wrong. It's power, dude. Just get over it. It's power. That's what they're saying. Okay. Okay. The two individuals who have stated for the record that they spoke to President about the subject actually exonerated him. They didn't. Ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, stated that when he asked the president what he wanted from Ukraine, the president said, nothing. I want nothing. I want nothing. I want no quid pro quo. So that statement right there is ripped out of context. Donald Trump Gordon Sondland's not agreeing with Donald Trump. He's reporting what Donald Trump said. He's not saying that, oh yeah, I agree there's no quid pro quo because that's what Donald Trump said. He's just saying that's just what Donald Trump said. I didn't say it. Donald Trump said it. That's not a defense. So, Senator Ron Johnson reported that when he asked the president whether there was any connection between security assistance and investigations, the president responded, "No way. I would never do that." Oh! So the reason why it's okay is because we asked him, "Is this okay?" And President Trump said, "Oh yeah, it's all great." So therefore, it's all great. Man, if our justice system really worked that way, it'd be terrible. Did you murder this person? Is that all right? Oh yeah, it's fine if I murdered this person. Don't even worry about it. He said it's okay. It's okay. Second article also fails on its face to state an impeachmental offense. It did. So this makes the problem. It does not allege any crime or violation of law whatsoever. Now remember, just because what is legal and what is right are not always the same thing. So remember, what is legal and what is right are not always the same thing. Remember, the Constitution is the highest law in the land. So what these guys are saying here, what Dershowitz and Kenneth Starr are saying, and Pam Bondi, what they're saying is that President Trump didn't violate a law down here. So since he didn't violate a law down here, he couldn't have violated the law of here. So it goes down like this, right? It goes downward. It goes from the Constitution down to the next law, down. All right. So he's saying that since right here is okay, also up here is okay. No, dude. The Constitution comes before the lower law. The lower law is lower than the Constitution. But are these guys lawyers? Like, they're crazy. They're crazy. Furthermore, the notion that President Trump obstructed Congress is absurd. We never talked about that. We never talked anything about obstructing Congress. I mean, he blocked for sure, but, and acted with extraordinary and unprecedented transparency by declassifying, releasing the transcript of the July. Okay, that's a big lie. They always release transcripts. Every president releases transcripts of calls with foreign heads of state. So it's not unprecedented. It's not transparent because Donald Trump classified the real transcript, and then what he released was a memo. If you look on it, it even says it's a memo. It doesn't say it's a transcript. It says it's a memo. I even have it here. Let me go find it. Where's it at? I have it here, you jerk. Oh, here, I should use this one. Donald? Yeah, Donald. And, hold on. Okay, check this out, guys. Check this out. Oh, no. Oh, wait a minute. I think I don't have it. Okay, yeah. This is what was released. This is what President Trump released. Oh, crap. A memorandum of a telephone conversation is not a verbatim transcript of a discussion. The text in this document records the notes and recollections of the Situation Room officers and NSC policy staff. And remember, Lieutenant Colonel Vindman reported and testified under oath that he heard a different conversation, and when he tried to change it, they wouldn't let him do it. So President or Lieutenant Colonel Vindman heard a different conversation than the one they recorded. They wouldn't let him change the conversation to the real words. And then the one that he gave us was this, a memo, not the transcript, but the memo. So he gave us a memo of the thing. So let's go back to lawyers here. So yeah, so President Trump, did not act with transparency. Oh, wait a minute, I'm like lost here. Okay. Oh no, what happened? Dude, you messed up. Infran view. All right. So, the notion that President Trump obstructed Congress is absurd. President Trump acted with extraordinary and unprecedented transparency. Lie. By declassifying and releasing the transcript. Lie. He released a memo. Okay. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on. Look at these idiots. All these guys are QAnon followers. QAnon is a conspiracy, and none of the things came true, but they're dumb and they keep following him. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it. Get out of here, Q people. So all my talking, I got 34 iron. Dude, that's so bad. Such a bad rate. But there they are. So what we're looking at is like an obvious mob, crime mob. It's so obvious. And then you have like the very, very clear and reasonable stuff. But the people who follow the crime mob are like crazy. They're crazy. I just don't get it. Here, let's put some music on. I just don't get it. What else did I have? What other pictures? Awesome pictures. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, this is a crazy moment in history. Tomorrow on observed Martin Luther King Jr. birthday, there's going to be a bunch of Nazis and Confederates who are heading down to the Virginia Capitol to cause problems, and they're bringing guns, so they mean to cause violence. Now remember, Nazis already murdered people in Virginia. They murdered Heather Heyer. So like, it's kind of scary that now they're coming with a bunch of guns to do it again. And they're Nazis. They're not fighting for the Constitution. They're not fighting for freedom. They're fighting for white supremacy. So we got issues in this country. At the time that we're impeaching a mafia boss out of the White House, a white supremacist, white supremacists are trying to muster themselves. So it's not a joke. Like, this thing's real, and I don't know how else to press it upon people that it's not a joke what's going on. That we're on the cusp. We could go either way here. So there's that story. I heard a story a while ago about how research vessels would be going around the ocean listening with their stuff. And there was one whale that was singing a song. It sings its songs. And whales, they talk to each other by singing songs to each other. And that's how they hear each other over the vast distances in the ocean. Otherwise, you'd never find each other because the ocean's so big. So they sing songs, and then other whales hear the song and then sing back, and then they can talk to each other and find each other. Well, one of the whales must have had some kind of problem or some issue, because the way it sang its song was at a different frequency, a much lower frequency. So the problem was that if you're not listening for it, you're never gonna hear it. So this whale was going around the whole ocean, singing its song, but at a lower frequency. Lower frequency means it's slower. It takes a lot longer. Oh crap! That's bad. And for like 20 years, this whale was going around looking, trying to find another whale. And it sang its song, but no one could hear it. And I don't know whatever happened. Maybe that whale got, like, maybe the whale died. I don't know. Lonely. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, singing at a frequency that's too low for other people to hear because it takes too long. Anyways. Alright guys, I think that's enough for me. I talked for an hour and a half. I showed you a little bit of Minecraft. Yeah, it took a lot of work to get to this point. And yeah, I'm not sure what else to do here except hang out. And well, no, I have to make the other farms. Alright, well, thanks for hanging out with me. And like, yeah, it's a nuts time. It's a crazy time right now. Let's just be cool and see what happens. Alright guys, stick together. Pogo Kiddo out. Peace.